Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Watson again, and we have another book, The Forest in the Clouds. And I really wanted to read this to you. It is about the cloud forest in Costa Rica. And I didn't have time to read it in lab, because we just ran out of time. So this is for all of you. And I'm very excited to share this book with you, The Forest in the Clouds. The beautiful pictures. From east to west, the tropical trade winds blow, sucking up moisture like dry, thirsty lungs from the warm Caribbean Sea. After traveling thousands of miles, these warm, wet winds strike land. They rush over the lowlands and they begin to climb. Up and up the winds climb, cooling as they rise higher and higher. As they cool, the moisture in the wind is squeezed out of them. Tiny water droplets stick together. By the time the winds reach the top of the mountains, thick clouds have formed. This is the home of one of Earth's most enchanting places, the tropical cloud forest. So here you have the paddle leaf ferns. This is bromeliad, shoestring ferns. And we have Schefflera and an ornate hawk eagle. Sorry, I had a nest to that. Oh my goodness, we have a hawk moth. Look at that moth. Oh my goodness. Spangled cheek tanager. That's the bird. So you got the moth, you got the bird, you got the American redstart. And then these are Chlorophonia birds. We have the purple-throated mountain gem and the scintillant hummingbird. Oh, look at that hummingbird. Look at that. There's another moth. Tropical cloud forests grow in several regions of the world and provide homes for thousands of different plants and animals. Here in the cloud forests of Costa Rica, you can find 300 different kinds of birds. Sit quietly, and you'll see over 24 kinds of hummingbirds zoom through the cloud forest. Mixed flocks of redstarts, thrushes, wrens, and tanagers whirl by like little tornadoes, stirring up feasts of grasshoppers, moths, and other insects. Hunting together helps the birds catch more food and keep a better watch for forest falcons and other predators. Bonk, bonk! A male three-wattled bellbird calls for a mate. Its bold white and brown colors and showy wattles tell a female, "Choose me!" Once mating is over, the shy female slips away to nest and raise her young on her own. There he is. That flash of red, white, and green is the cloud forest's best-dressed bird, the resplendent quetzal. Aztecs once used the quetzal's brilliant feathers to decorate uniforms and costumes. Today, thousands of tourists travel from all over the world to glimpse these dazzling creatures. Both bellbirds and quetzals spend part of the year looking for food in lowland forests. Quetzals forage on the lower slopes and hills of the mountain range. Bellbirds and quetzals often fly hundreds of miles to forests along the Caribbean and Pacific coasts. Each March or April, the quetzals and bellbirds fly back up to the cloud forest to mate and raise their young. It is a time of abundance. Fig trees and wild avocados burst with fruit that the birds and their babies eat. Unlike most other birds, bellbirds and quetzals have big mouths, which allow them to swallow wild avocados whole. And there's a brown-hooded parrot right there. There's the avocados. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. These are figs. This is a fig tree. Mrs. Watson doesn't even know what she's talking about. This is a fig tree. I guess if she reads it, she'd know. Resplendent quetzal, three-wattled bird, and these are the wild avocado. Learn something along with you. The violet saber-wing hummingbird. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at the violet color. A lobster claw, metal mark butterfly, a black-breasted wood quail. This is the clear-wing butterfly, and this is the blue morpho butterfly, which we've seen in a lot of Central American countries. None of the cloud forest plants or animals could survive without the clouds. They are the source of all life here. They drop 10 feet of rain and mist every year and water more than 2,500 kinds of plants, including ferns, wild coffee plants, lobster claws, and impressive elephant ears with 6-foot leaves. There are many different kinds of flowering plants attract over 500 species of butterflies. The many different kinds of flowering plants attract over 500 species of butterflies. Some live in the cloud forest all year long, but over half are migrants. Like bellbirds and quetzals, they spend part of the year in the lowland forest. When it becomes too dry or their food plants stop flowering, the butterflies migrate up to the wetter cloud forest or to forests on the other side of the mountain range. Climb a 100-foot fig tree and you might find a taira hunting in the gardens of plants called epiphytes. Epiphytes, also called air plants, are plants that live on other plants without harming them. More kinds of epiphytes live in the cloud forest than in any other place on earth. Thick mats of ferns, orchids, mosses, and other epiphytes cover tree branches and trunks. The epiphytes survive by filtering or catching water and nutrients from passing clouds and mist. So this is an epiphyte, which is the Norantia costaricensis. That's a taira, or taira. There's another taira. And Guatemalan sanguine, Guatemalan sanguia bromeland. This is also an epiphyte. Interesting. I love learning new things with you guys. Over 70 different kinds of birds visit epiphytes to find food and building materials for their nests. Poke around the epiphyte gardens and you'll find frogs, salamanders, and thousands of beetles, ants, and other insects. Thousands of microscopic organisms also swim about in the tiny pools of water that collect in bromeliads and other epiphytes. So there's a tree frog, an arboreal salamander, you've got an agar-beetle, and this is an ochraceous wren. Look at the wren upside down. She's getting that grasshopper. Ah, look at that. This handsome cat is a margay. The margay lives mostly in the trees where it hunts monkeys, birds, and lizards. Few people ever see a margay. That's no accident. Many cloud forest animals play a very serious game of hide and hunt. For a margay, staying hidden probably helps it sneak up on animals it is hunting. For other animals, staying hidden keeps them from being hunted. So there's the margay. There we go. See the big picture there. All right. Different animals play hide and hunt in different ways. Nocturnal animals hide during the day and then come out at night. The margay is a nocturnal animal, so are the 43 kinds of bats that fly through the nighttime woods here. Shine a flashlight and you'll catch the shining eyes of tarantulas, katydids, pacas, scorpions, walking sticks, and many other nocturnal creatures. So there's a common long-tongued fruit bat, a scorpion. Ooh, no thank you. Curly-haired tarantula. I don't know if I'd like to meet that guy either. Yikes. And then you've got a Mexican porcupine and a big fruit-eating bat. And here you go. You can see the bigger picture there. See the tarantula hiding? See him down there? He's hard to see. There you go. Now you can see him. Woo! Yeah, no thank you. Some of them can just stay hidden. Mr. Watson would be happy with that. And then we see a dink frog. We see a tree hoppers right here. And we have the Highland tinamou. And we have small-eared shrew. And we have the brown leaf mimic. And we also have the vine snake. And we have a lizard here. And a two-toed sloth is hiding right here too. Got all kinds of animals in here. Look at that. Camouflage hides other animals. Camouflage shapes, patterns, and colors help animals blend into their surroundings. Look carefully. Can you tell which camouflaged animals are predators and which are prey? Oh, that's kind of hard to tell. Because they are camouflaged, though. Look at that. Look at them. They look like pine needles because they don't want you to be, or thorns. I think that's the predator and that's the prey in this situation. Not sure about the two-toed sloth, though. All right. When you reach the highest point in the cloud forest, a mile above sea level, damp clouds constantly rush past, even when it's not raining. Mist makes everything dripping wet. Squeezing a moss-covered branch is like squeezing a soaked sponge. Icy water trickles down your arm. The forest here is called the elfin forest. Trees in the elfin forest grow only 10 to 20 feet high, but they aren't short by nature. They are stunted by the constant winds howling past. Their tough branches and low profile keep these trees from being blown off the mountain. Very beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, look at these guys. One of the cloud forest's most mysterious residents used to live in the elfin forest, the golden toad. Scientists didn't even discover the golden toad until 1963. For most of the year, the toads stayed hidden underground and under dead leaves. For a few days each rainy season, however, buckets of golden toads would mysteriously gather in shallow pools of rainwater. In the pools, the toads mated and laid strings of slippery eggs. Then they disappeared until the next rainy season. Look at that. They see the eggs? There they are. The golden toads. Look at that. In 1988, though, the golden toads disappeared for good. Scientists searched everywhere, but they never again found the toads. No one is sure what happened to them. Some people think that pesticides in the clouds killed the toads. Scientists have also found evidence that global warming has made the cloud forest drier. These drier conditions may have weakened the toads and made them more vulnerable to deadly disease. Oh, that's sad. The golden toads, sorry, I don't know why I said garden. The golden toads weren't the only cloud forest creatures that were harmed at this time. 20 other species of frogs and toads, including the handsome harlequin frog, disappeared from many areas of the cloud forest. Many kinds of snakes that ate the frogs also vanished. Now some of these animals are again increasing in numbers, but not the golden toad. So there he is, the harlequin frog. Look at that. The disappearance of the mysterious golden toad shows that every place on Earth is connected. Winds can carry poisonous pesticides from lowland farms to the cloud forest many miles away. Pollution from power plants and cars can disrupt the weather all over the world. Despite these kinds of problems, people are working hard to protect the Earth's natural places, including the cloud forests. Some work to buy land to set aside for cloud forest plants and animals. Others work with nearby farmers to plant trees that ought to provide food for quetzals and other birds. Others educate the public about all the good things that forests do for us. Things such as making oxygen, keeping the soil from washing away, and providing us with medicines. Look at that. Kids from all over the world are helping too. Kids from Sweden all the way to Australia have helped to raise money to protect the cloud forest. To find out how you can help, you can write to the Children's Rainforest, the Monteverde Institute, the Nature Conservancy International Child Rainforest Program. And there's some different books you can read. There's some websites. Evergreen.edu Monteverde, www.acmcr.org, www.ran.org, and www.read.org. And you can go on these websites with your parents' permission and maybe learn more about Monteverde. Okay, about the cloud forest in this book. Cloud forests exist in many parts of the world, including Africa, Asia, South and Central America, Hawaii, and the Caribbean. Each cloud forest is different and special in its own way. The cloud forest in this book is located in the mountains near the town of Monteverde, Costa Rica. So here we are. Okay, there's the Monteverde cloud forest. Okay. Here, a large preserve protects over 75,000 acres of forest for plants, animals, and people. So San Jose is the capital, and not too far away is Monteverde, and then there's the cloud forest, okay? All right. And remember, a capital city, the capital is where the government seat is. Okay, that's where the government is. And for our country, our capital of our country is Washington, D.C. The capital of Michigan is Lansing. The capital of Costa Rica is San Jose. Okay, then we can talk about some words here. Camouflage, colors or shapes of an animal or plant that make it hard to detect by other animals. Elfin forest, part of a cloud forest where the plants are stunted by constant exposure to wind. Epiphytes, air plants, live on the branches, trunks, or leaves of other plants, getting support but not nutrients from their hosts. Migrants, animals such as birds and butterflies that regularly travel long distances from one place to another, usually in search of food or nesting sites. Mixed flocks, different species of birds that hunt or forage together in groups. Nocturnal, animals that are active mostly or entirely at night. Nutrient, a chemical or compound that plants and animals need to grow and stay healthy. Common nutrients include nitrogen and phosphorus. Predator, any organism that survives by capturing and eating animals. Trade wind, a wind that blows almost continually in the same direction. Tropical cloud forest, a high-altitude forest watered by a steady stream of clouds and rainfall during much of the year, also called a tropical montane forest. Have you ever visited the cloud forest? Through the pages of this book, travel to where the winds hit the high mountains of Costa Rica. Discover for yourself this tropical wonderland full of resplendent quetzals, stealthy margays, slow-moving sloths, and dozens of other startling and secretive creatures. Learn how these animals survive and watch how the clouds water and nourish the forest, thousands of kinds of plants. Find out, too, about threats to this remarkable ecosystem and what you can do. All right, the end.